And anytime you're in any of the muck, you have to know the difference between, are you sitting in intentional thoughts and rest, or are you just sitting there to sit there and pout and like be pissed at the world? Because we've all been there. But what's your worst? And sometimes what you think you're chasing after, sometimes maybe that it's worth it to let it go. Hey ladies, welcome to the She's Rooted podcast.
We're about to get real unscripted.
So pull up a chair. Let's get to the root of it.
You ever dance to the music that no one else can hear?
Yep. March the beat of my own drum all the time.
The song in your own head.
What is up, everybody? What's up, Mo?
What's up? I'm gonna mute myself real quick and shut these doors.
Okay. Nailed it. Well, if you guys have been with us for the last couple times, we have been talking about sitting in the muck, walking through life when life is lifing and we are not loving it, and really just getting rooted in with why we actually should get up and out of the muck, like chasing after the thing that we said we wanted to do, regardless of life curveballs and crap, right? But Mo and I had a really great conversation about, well, what if someone is sitting on the other side of this podcast, like, Jamie, Mo, I want to sit in the muck for a moment. Like, I need to slow down for a second. Like, what about that side of that coin? And I definitely feel like we need to talk about that because it is absolutely valid. It is absolutely part of the process. It doesn't always come so easy to just get up and out of things within 5 minutes and still continue to chase after what you said you wanted to do. There are definitely days where I was like, no, I ain't gonna do it. But there's always a but. Here's Sir Mix-a-Lot again. But it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good but, I promise. But today we thought we would talk a little bit about the difference between sitting in the muck and the difference of growing up and out of it, right? It's okay to pause. It's okay to have that intentional rest. But the second it turns into a throw the towel in, everything sucks, I'm out, and you really know deep down that's not what you want to do, it's just what's easy to do in the moment because I just don't want to deal with it right now. Let's talk about the difference of that, Mo. Like being intentional with the rest and like having that slow down and being able to sit not only in the grit and the grind of things, but how about the grace? Because as women, we don't usually give ourselves much of that. You're muted. Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
Here she is.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
When is the most recent time for you that this has happened?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of mine.
2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Tell me more.
No.
Like this just recently, or you're still sitting? Are you still sitting?
No, I don't weaken. That's what my hat says. So I said, all right. They put a period at the end. It's a full sentence.
Definitely. Yeah.
No, I think you go in and out of it quite often. I mean, it's what happens.
This might not be like what you're talking about, but this is what I feel like that this has happened to me in my like strength training and fitness journey, like in a physical way, where I feel like I'm in the muck because I can't do something that I used to be able to do.
Yeah.
And I've had to I love to lift heavy. Like I love the result of lifting heavy. I love to lift heavy, turn up the music, like all that kind of stuff. And my body's just like not having it.
Yeah.
And I keep going in and out of this. And I feel like I finally like stepped back again recently and I was like, okay, girl, like what do we need to do? And I knew it's my body wants to like do stretching and it's just tight. It's just so tight. And so anyway, like for the sake of boring everybody listening, I've had to like sit in this, which I consider, which is totally not devastating muck, but it feels like anytime you can't do something you used to do, I feel like that's kind of devastating.
little sticky. It's a little
Yeah.
sticky.
So I've been doing, and I've had to just embrace it, like with the grace and be like, okay, this is where we're at right now. And I'm gonna just embrace this for what it is, and I'm gonna try to make the best of it. And I've been doing mobility and strength combined instead. And um, now I've had to try a couple different things, and now I'm like in this TRX mobility strength zone that I'm actually loving, and I feel stronger, and I'm still seeing results, and I'm feeling like tension release. And so it was a matter of like honoring. I think that's my thing is for me, it's not like we're talking about like when you know you actually have to like pause for a minute. For me, that translates to what do I need to honor that's going on in my life right now? And like you said, give it the grace, but like honor that. Like this is where I'm at right now. So how can I best honor that? And how can I, like you said, not fully step back and just go, oh, I can't do this, so I'm gonna do nothing. I can't do
Right.
this, so I don't want to do this, so I'm gonna do nothing, and throw a little baby fit instead of like, how
Big
can
bang
I
bang.
honor this moment and where I'm at right now, and what can I do and do it differently
Yeah.
to still like continue to move down the path I want to move down, which is to have a healthy body that continues to move and be strong as I get older. So
Yeah.
that might be like where we
Oh,
started this, but that was what hit
I
me first.
I love that you went down the fitness road because I feel like a lot of times when you're talking about real life things, you can interchange the topic that you're talking about, but you can literally take the meat of what we're saying and apply it in something else because it just fits, right? But you have to be thinking that way in order to make it fit. But when you were talking about fitness, like before every class that I have ever coached people through, I've always told them that you have to know the difference between pushing yourself through and pushing yourself too far. Like as a trainer, I've been in this fitness industry for a million gazillion years, have my bachelor's in health and wellness. I love what I get to do. I can tell to an extent, but I'm not you, right? So, with that being said, that is like mind, muscle, body connection. Like you got to talk to yourself, but your mind is going to talk you out of things or it can talk you into things. Like your mind is very powerful. That's where everything starts, is the mindset.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I think I've told you this in the past. I don't know if we've ever dropped it on a podcast, but in one of my strength training, like small group training classes that we did, I had the ladies and our one part of our burner at the end was an all out plank, right? And they're arguing back with me. I can't do longer than a minute. I've never been able to do longer than a minute. Da, da, da. I'm like, well, this is all out. So you're going to give it all your effort. And wherever the clock stops, let me know and I'm going to jot it down. And they're like, yeah, but we're not going to go past a minute. I was like, all right, I'll time you down from a minute and we'll go backwards. And then when that buzzer goes off on my phone, you're going to know that you rocked out a minute. Cool? And they're like, yeah, okay. But I'm probably going to fall before that. Do you think that this trainer put that timer on counting down from a minute? Hell no. I went from zero and I counted all the way up. Some of those girls got well past 2 minutes and 34 seconds.
Mhm.
And I'm like, see, you will show up in what you believe is possible. And sometimes when you need people in your corner that can believe in you more than you'll ever believe in yourself, and then you end up surprising yourself. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, I've never been able to do that." I was like, "You're welcome."
Wait, I love this because this actually just made me think of, but not just that, you're saying you show up for what you think is possible. They didn't think this was possible. They had like a little mini goal that they thought like I could reach that.
Yeah.
And I think that in the midst of like this is what we've done. I hate running. I hate running. But
Same.
hate running. But when I used to have to run, that's what I would do. Like just get to that sign.
Hmm.
And then you get to the sign, you're like, okay, now
I
just
still do
get to
that.
that spot. Now just get to that spot. And I feel like when you're in that moment of pause and rest and reflect, like if you can set those little mini challenges for yourself, especially if you're really in a really bad way, right? Like we've been in those real dark places where we're calling it muck, but it's like
You know the word we're saying.
It's not good.
Yep.
And you just want to stay in bed and like do absolutely nothing. Those
Right.
kind of moments, I think, sometimes, yeah, you do need those times. But I think I said it on one of the other podcasts where my grandma was like, set the timer and cry for,
Yes.
3 minutes and then be done.
Right.
I think it is important to keep ourselves going in that way, or have somebody else that you notify and you're like, listen, I'm like really struggling. Can you call me like at 4 o'clock today and see if I got out of bed?
Right.
Like, or maybe you
4
that
p.m. or 4 a.m.
4 p.m. Or maybe you have that
4 p.m.
moment where you're like, okay, I think, you set a date to meet up with somebody and you
Yeah.
hold yourself to the fire to do that. And I think pausing is important, but like you said, you don't want to completely go off track unless you are trying to blow up a situation and like completely pivot and do a 180, right? Like
Right.
I
Right.
I am gonna sit in this because the whole darn thing is crumbling and
Right.
I'm gonna let it fully crumble all around me and then I'm gonna like get out of the rubble and walk somewhere else.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna like jump in. You like in deep thought right there. If you're
Mm-hmm.
watching, you've seen Mo. She was like, where do I want to go?
Thanks for the thoughts are
Where do
thinking.
I want to go with that?
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so with that, like the fitness mindset, saying that you gotta know the difference between pushing yourself too far and pushing yourself through, and that's a you versus you thing, right? Getting people in your circle, in your corner, that will believe in you bigger than you'll ever believe in yourself is what can help. Like you need to get around the people that will fan the flames of impact, right? That's very important. That won't allow you to sit in the muck longer than you need to. Um, but on another fitness mindset, you talk about pausing and having intentional rest. You talk about going hard. Like I went in the mindset of like, I gotta hit a PR, like deadlift is my jam. And in my head, like I just wanted to rock out a 225, like 225-pound deadlifts. Like that was my goal. It seemed so unreachable. Totally rocked it out. Have it on video. If you need proof, I will drop it. Um, but I got in my way a lot in that, right? But I'm trying to like slow down to progress through, like have progress through. Is that the right word? I don't even know.
I
Anyway,
know. Yeah.
yeah, progress through. So with that, like you can't get like from point A to point B without driving your way there. And
Mm-hmm.
there is a path to get there. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times people think that when you're chasing after your goals and I want to get toned and I want to lose weight and I want to muscle up and I want to do all these things, like all those goals are going to be found in the gym. And the gym is very important, absolutely. But we break our muscles down in the gym. Do you know where muscles grow?
Mm-hmm.
In how you put nutrition back into your body and how you rest.
Mm-hmm.
Like sleep is very important. Sleep is intentional
Mm-hmm.
pause when it
Yeah.
comes into that perspective. So there is value when we are intentional around our rest.
Right.
But just like that whole thing I tell our clients, you got to know the difference between pushing yourself through and pushing yourself far. Well, in any time you're in any of the muck, you have to know the difference between are you sitting in intentional thoughts and rest, or are you just sitting there to sit there and pout and like be pissed at the world? Because we've all been there. But what's your worth? And sometimes what you think you're chasing after, sometimes maybe it's worth it to let it go and find something like it's okay to pivot.
I like what you said in the beginning too about seasons, like rest and recovery. And I think that was the other thing with my fitness stuff. I'm like, you know what? Like there are seasons I push real hard and then, now and I've had 4 kids. Like there's things where I just feel like my body was like, can we have like a season of recovery here?
Right.
And like just like
Take a minute.
yeah. And recognizing that in life too, that maybe like, yeah, there's this season where maybe you just pushed like crazy for a goal in your career, or I don't know what it could be for you, but you ran real hard and you're burnt, you're spent. Like that's valid to say like, okay, I'm in the winter hibernation season now, and I am going to be
Yeah.
recovering and resting and repairing and rebuilding, and then I shall come out in the spring and in the summer and blossom once again, you know?
There you go. Yeah. No, I love that you did just say that because, thinking about focusing on the repair and focusing on the slowdown, I think sometimes we do burn ourselves out, how you just said. And you're burning the candle at both ends. You're trying to do all the things. You're wearing all the mom hats. We both have a hat on today, which is super fun. But I picked a hat that I felt like I looked good in. I'm all about the black hat. Nike, don't weaken. Mo's got her smiley face hat on, always looking cute.
Always here for a smiley face hat, you know.
But you have to put the hat on that is yours. And sometimes when we're burning the candle at both ends and we're trying to do all the things and we don't have enough time for ourselves, that's when everything starts to turn into the overwhelm category and you can't get all the things done because there's too many damn things on the plate. And it could be that there's too many things on the plate, but it could also be the other end of it, prioritizing your boundaries and prioritizing your day, and how you were talking about on the last podcast about how you how did you word that? It was so good how you said you scripted your day or something, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be able to carve things out, and sometimes maybe you need to pause. Maybe you need to go get your nails done. When's the last time you got your hair did? Like, when's the last time you went on a vacation? When's the last time you sat and had coffee with your best friend?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? When's the last time you went on a date night? Put on a dress. I don't know if you like to wear dresses, but dressed up. When's the last time you got out of workout clothes? That's
Yeah.
not very often for me.
Yeah. You know what? So you talking about this is making me think about, I have to share this experience. I'm wondering if you're listening and you've had any similar experience, I would love to know. Or I'm just about to give you a window into how crazy I actually am. But I I I don't have like a skincare routine. I grew up in the country, like I don't know. You just like wash your face and go out about your day, like get dirty and whatever. And my very first time ever getting a facial, Jamie, I,
Experience?
yeah, I cried my eyes out.
Yeah.
Cried my eyes out getting a facial. Thank God it was one of my best friends, which maybe also made the experience incredible because I was like shocked at how tender and loving and like I felt like she was like just being like, I love you while she's like doing my face.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking to myself, Monique, you are so aggressive with how you wash your face and how you do things to yourself. Like you're
Yeah.
aggressive and like you're not gently loving yourself. Like this is my real thought. So if I'm
Yeah.
weird, you can
Like a washcloth.
you
Yeah.
can tell me I'm weird.
You are. No,
I'm
I'm
wondering
just
if
kidding.
there's anyone,
I'm
if there's
kidding. I'm
anyone else
kidding.
out there who's like you've just beat yourself to submission like your whole life,
Yeah.
or like done things because you just don't, you're just like, whatever, it's just me. And like, that's how I am. Like, wash my face. Like, it's just my face. And
Yeah.
she's like tenderly, like, just like, and I cried and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I need to be more gentle with myself,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
need to like show myself some love. And maybe that is where you're at, is that you need, before you get a facial and cry your eyes out and are embarrassed, you need to show yourself some more love and like tenderness and grace and gentleness. Because yeah, I think especially if we're high achieving women or go-getter women, like we pushed through a lot of stuff. I had 4 kids all naturally, no drugs, no medication, no nothing, by the grace of God. Like that was my dream,
Ooh,
all
I
4 of them.
tried.
Like that was what I prayed and begged God for, and I got it. But like we can deal with a lot of pain as women, we can push
Oh,
through a lot of
yeah.
stuff as women, and we can carry a lot of things. And that was like one of my biggest like aha moments of that. I was like, wow, I'm really like aggressive with myself in a lot of ways. Maybe I should be nicer.
Yeah. I my first fa I'm not a big I don't have a huge skincare routine either. Hello 42 girls here. 42
Yeah.
years old. Maybe we need one, I don't know. But my my first facial I ever had, it was like a massage, facial, all that. Me and my really good friend Tammy went. And I have never experienced like girl spa in my whole life. So I literally, she does all that, and I'm like feeling extra fancy, and you are gonna laugh what we did after. Oh, Tam, I hope you're listening to this. I'll send it to you. But I'm literally she put cucumbers on my eyes. First time in my whole life ever had cucumbers on my eyes. And I didn't know she left the room because it was so quiet. Well, these cucumbers are they're falling off my face. And I was like, the cucumbers. No one's in the room. I think I'm talking to someone about I'm like, can I touch them? I don't know what, I didn't even know. But yeah, we literally left feeling like we were like these fancy women after a spa. We're all like greased up, our faces and everything, all oil. We went to like this $1 million, like they had an open house after. So we're like feeling like really good about we're stay-at-home moms. We just got a facial, we got a massage. Look at our bougie asses. And they had an open house, this huge $1 million house. And me and her walked in like we were just like we could take two. We did the tour and everything. But yeah, that was my first facial
Yeah, it
ever.
blew my mind. I used it as an opportunity too. I just told my best friend, I'm like, I feel like this is your gift. I feel like you were made to do this. You like are able to love women through touching their face. This is mind blowing to me. And I use it as an opportunity to like edify my friend and like call her out on her gift. I'm like, this is
Yep.
just or I'm just crazy. So I don't know.
No, you're able to like slow down in the moment and be like,
Yeah.
breathe for a minute. Like, okay. But I think you are, as women, all of us are very much too rough within life. Get it done fast. Get it done fast. Like, don't slow down. Don't breathe. Just get it done. And then that comes that moment where it's like, man, I need a minute. I need a minute. But yeah.
No, it's good. I think you just give yourself that permission, and give yourself the permission to recognize seasons and don't, because the worst thing is like when you're actually forced, right? Like when you're knocked down and then you're like,
Yep.
ah, I've struggled with like an Achilles issue for a while. And that's probably in the back of my mind is also why I'm like, I just need to like stretch and relax and like recover because the worst case would be like all of a sudden I blow my Achilles and I'm like laid up.
Right.
You don't want to, like you said earlier, you don't want to push past um, just to push through. And I think that is, if you're listening today and you're like, I don't know what kind of season I'm in, like, I don't know, maybe take a break and give yourself that grace and permission to say, for this season, I'm going to like sit back for a second and recover and rest and breathe and gather myself and like then be able to move forward. And sometimes you use that break as a planning session, as like a strategizing session, as a let's make a plan. Sometimes you use it as full recovery where you're like, I just need time to play and like just
Right.
chill out and like,
Right.
you know,
Sometimes you need a robe, a fancy cup, your Dr. Death, and a little Netflix.
Dr. Death. I gotta look this up.
You're gonna love it. It's so good. Tastes like Dr. Pepper. They got a root beer one too, is very good. Matt came home yesterday. Our whole family, it's like our thing now, these liquid death waters. And Matt comes home yesterday and we done drank up all of the root beer. There's only 6 in a pack. I had 2. Matt really wanted the root beer yesterday. He's like, "Who drank all the root beer one?" I'm like, "Whoops." He's
Wait,
like,
don't you hate when it's you and not
"I
the
know."
kid? When your husband's mad, he'll be like, who,
Whoop.
blah, blah, blah. And like, what, goof off, did this mess. And I'm like,
Sometimes I'm like, "I don't know." It's 100% me. He knows.
My husband's great because then he'll just be like, oh, well, then it's fine, you know. But I always feel terrible. I'm like, ooh, I want to blame the kids,
Blame them. They're
but
fine.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. No, it's quite funny. But yeah, one other thing I did definitely want to say about the whole pausing with intention. And I did kind of talk a little bit about boundaries on the front end. I think it's very important to know what fills your cup and what empties your cup. Because you can never pour from an empty cup. You can't pour from a half empty cup. Like that's not good, not only for you, but the people in your corner, in your four walls, in your community, like everything. So I learned this and like talked about a full sentence, right? So my brain went into what I learned from the Olsen twins. You remember like Full House
of course.
in the day? So they were on a talk show. I don't remember whose it was. Might have been Jimmy Fallon or someone else. I'm not really sure, but they said that they learned from I think it was their mom that no is a full sentence.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that is very powerful because as women, we always feel like we need to give the reason behind the no. And sometimes the no is okay,
Mm-hmm.
but no is a full sentence.
Yeah, I love that. I remember when I learned that the opposite, like this clicked for me as a people pleaser, former people pleaser, was like realizing that if I'm saying yes to you, then I'm saying no to something else. And
Right.
that something else is something else in my world. So I am still saying no, but it's to my thing that's important because I'm saying yes to you. And like that was like
Right.
a huge revelation for me that no is a full sentence. And also like by not saying no to you, I'm saying no to something over here.
Right.
And that was a huge revelation for me.
That definitely comes, I think, with our age as we grow and we realize like what is really important, what's truly important, what are the things that matter to us. And like you put in alcohol in this like mindset right here. Matt listened to a podcast and it said they were talking about like never tolerate a bad drink. Like you just don't do that. So never tolerate
Definitely.
a bad yes or whatever. But like I think you have to know it's okay to say no, and that's not it's selfish if you don't, especially if you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think like taking some time with some intentional rest, like what is that to you? What would that look like for you? Is that getting your nails done? Is that getting your hair done? Is that going for coffee, even by yourself? Is it walking so slow down every single aisle at Target because grandma is watching the kids?
Yeah.
Take my time because she is living her best life and making core memories, and I need a minute.
Yep.
Retail therapy.
It's good. It is good.
But yeah, anything else for them? Anything else unintentional? Pausing versus
I think that's just in and of itself is the thing, like making sure that it's an intentional pause and not just, I just blew an hour scrolling on TikTok unintentionally. Now, I think there's a difference. If you set the timer, like, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna scroll for an hour because that is what I want to do, like, go for it. But if you're just unintentionally pausing, you're going to set yourself back in a million ways, like left
yeah,
and so I
so
think
good.
that's something huge to pay attention to.
Absolutely. No, I love that. I love it. All right, ladies, you go. You go and write down what your intentional pause is. Let us know. Drop some comments. This is how I'm going to intentionally pause, intentional rest today. These are the things that I like to do that I know that will fill my cup back up. So good.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love your hat.
Thank you. I love yours too.
Thanks. Don't weaken. Period.
Smile.
Okay, ladies, until next week, stay rooted. Bye. We hope that landed. If it did, drop a comment, share it up, and you know what? We'll see you next week. Until then.